what we're looking for. So number 9 here, and yes, they're all out of order because I cut and pasted pretty much all of them. Number 9, we have that DE is 7x plus 1, EF is 4x minus 3, and the entire length from D to F is 42. And they want you to find DE. So in order to find DE, you first have to find X. And what you have to do is figure out between DE, EF, and DF, which segment would be the longest. And in this case, it would be DF. So that is what you set it equal to. So you take 7x plus 1 plus 4x minus 3 and set it equal to 42. Combine like terms. And then use your algebra skills here. Divide by 11. And you get x to equal 4, which is awesome, but that's not what it's asking for. It wants DE. So you have to plug it back in. So you do 7 times 4 plus 1. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 plus 1 is 29. So like on your test, for instance, this would be probably a 1, 2, 3 point problem. Setting it up correctly, solving for x correctly, and then actually answering the question with the, actually answering the question completely. Any questions there? Number 10, same type of idea, except for now, you're going to have variables on both sides of the equation. So we have JL actually is the longest. So you're going to be setting it equal to 10x minus 2. And then JK is 5x minus 8. KL is 7x minus 12. So these are the two that you're going to be adding together. Combine like terms, and you get 12x minus 20 equals 10x minus 2. Subtract 10x. Ooh, these little boxes are. So you get 2x minus 20 equals negative 2. Add 20, and I'm going to run out of room. 2x equals 18. Divide by 2. X equals 9. Holy moly. That's still not what it wants, though. It wants KL, so you do need to plug it back in. KL is right here. It's 7 times 9, which is 63. 63 minus 12 is 51. And again, that would be like a 2-point problem. Setting it up correctly, solving for x correctly, or 3 points. Setting it up, solving for x, and then actually answering the question completely. Any questions there? Okay, stop me if you do. I'm going to keep powering through. 11, key term here is that you have a midpoint. When you have a midpoint, that means that you have two segments that are equal to each other. So you're going to take 5x plus 17 and set that equal to 8x minus 31. So you'd get a point right there. So then you have to subtract 5x. 17 equals 8x minus 31. Add 31. 8x equals 48. Divide by 8 and you get x to equal 6, which is awesome, but that still is not what they want. They want RS. So you have to take that 6 and plug it in for x. You do 5 times 6, which is 30. 30 plus 17 is... Did I do that right? No, I did not do that right. What did I do?
You did subtract 5 from the 8.
Thank you. I'm like, that is wrong. So this should be 16. Take the 16 and plug it in. 5 times 16 plus 17 is 97. Thank you. I put 8 minus 5, but I didn't actually subtract it. So setting it up, because it's a midpoint, they are equal to each other. Go through, actually do the subtraction there. Divide by 3, you get x equals 16. And then when you do 5 times 16, which is 80, 80 plus 17 is 97 for that length of RS. Okay, yesterday, I had a lot of people ask for number 14, like what exactly am I looking for or what are we solving for? So when they give you coordinates, you're either going to be finding the midpoint or the distance. It's really the only two options. If you are finding the midpoint, it will say find the midpoint on the problem. And this one does not. This one wants you to find ST, which is the length of ST, which technically is the distance from point S to point T. So you're going to use the distance formula. So this is my x1, y1. This is my x2, y2. So I'm going to plug into the distance formula. And I have -3 minus -2 squared plus 10 minus 3 squared. This is the one that I got wrong yesterday, right, Carter? Yeah. It's the only problem I got wrong all day.
I got it right.
Mm-hmm. -3 minus -2 is a -1 squared plus 10 minus 3 is 7 squared. Square these numbers out. -1 squared is a +1. Remember, when you square a number, you multiply it by itself. Plus 7 squared is 49. And then you have the square root of 50. And then in your calculator, you take the square root of 50. And I think it gives you like 7.07, which would be about 7.1-ish. So if they don't use the word midpoint, then you're not going to be finding the midpoint. You're going to be finding the distance. 16, same idea as 14. It says, given the graph below, find WV. So you're going to be finding the distance again. This one, though, you do need to figure out what your coordinates are first. So here's 0, 0. You go left 2, down 2. So -2, -2. That's point W. And then for V, you don't go over any, but you go 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 0, 4. So there are your coordinates. I'm going to label them to make my life a little easier. And then you plug into the distance formula. -2 minus 0 squared plus -2 minus 4 squared. -2 minus 0 is -2. -2 minus 4 is -6. And then you're going to square them out. -2 squared is 4. -6 squared is 36. And then you have the square root of 40, which when you plug that in, you do get a decimal. You get about 6.3. And I'll be looking for a couple of things with these distance ones. Obviously, if we round incorrectly, it's not going to be completely wrong, but I'll be looking to make sure that you have it set up correctly. And then if you have it set up correctly, but maybe you went wrong somewhere, I can give you partial points. That's why showing your work is kind of important. Any questions there? All right, 18. We do have the word. I asked you to skip one of the 18s because it shows up twice. Not really sure why. This number 18 is the one I'm going to do. It's a bigger box, so it gives me a little bit more room to write. This one says find the coordinates of the midpoint. So you are going to use the midpoint formula. So I'm going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2. So the midpoint formula says to take x1 plus x2, then divide by 2, and then take y1 plus y2, and then divide by 2. Main thing that you have to remember is that you have to do the addition, and then after you actually add them together, then you divide. So -1 plus -7 is a -8. -8 divided by 2 is -4. 2 plus -4 is -2. -2 divided by 2 is -1. So the midpoint is -4, -1. Any questions there? It's plus. I think you did minus a negative, so it's plus. Midpoint you add, distance you subtract. That's where it gets confusing. All right, 33. Angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. If you have a linear pair, that means that they are supplementary, which means that they equal 180 degrees. So if angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, which means if you add them together, it equals 180. And then you have to find the measure of angle 2. You first have to solve for x by adding them together and setting it equal to 180. Combine like terms here. I have 41x plus 16 equals 180. Subtract 16. 4x equals 140, 164. And then divide by 4. And you get x equals 41, which again is, no, this is 40. What am I doing today? 4 to bring down the 41, divide by 41, and you get x equals 4. Then to find the measure of angle 2, you take that 4 and you plug it back in. So you're going to do 23 times 4, 4, 8, 12, which is 92. 92 plus 17, you find the measure of angle 2 to be 109 degrees. Any questions on that front page? Okay, next page. Starting to get into angles a little bit more. Actually, I think it's all angles from here on out. Number 20, they tell you in the directions that angle DEF is 117. You do not have any markings on your pictures, so you shouldn't have set them equal to each other. Because DEF is the largest angle, that is what you are setting it equal to. And then you add your other two together. So when I add them together, I get 17x minus 2. I'm kind of shortcutting a little bit. I combined like terms and I got 17x minus 2. And I'm setting it equal to 117 because in the directions, that's what it says it's equal to. So to solve, I add 2 to both sides. 17x equals 119. Divide by 17. And I get x equals 7. In this problem, finally, that's all it wanted. It's like the first problem where you solve for x and you're done. You usually got to plug it back in. 21, nothing's labeled here, but we have PQS, this is 16. SQR is 9x plus 17. And then PQR, which is the largest angle, is 12x minus 6. So you're actually going to equal it to 12x minus 6. You're going to set up your equation, set it equal to 12x minus 6 because that's the largest angle. It's the angle that's opened up the most. Then you add the other two together, 9x plus 33, and set that equal to, again, the largest angle. It's kind of like that segment addition problem. So then to solve, I'm going to subtract 9x. 33 equals 3x minus 6. Add 6. 3x equals 39. And then divide by 3. And I get x equal 13, which is not what they wanted. They want PQR. PQR is right here, which is 12x minus 6. So I'm going to do 12 times 13 minus 6, and then I find PQR is 150. I didn't do that in my head. I have it written down right here. Any questions there? All right. For number 23, hold on, let me